jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
You shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official, no negotiation needed, period. It's in the AM. You know how we do it. I got to give you a brief post-fight, you know what I'm saying, review, and talk about some information that's out there in real life that's, have you questioning people's freaking sobriety, you know what I'm saying, their sanity. But shout out the first in the building, Dan on deck. I see you, man. W says salute to you, man. Carlos on deck. I see you, Carlos. Salute to you. So let me start off first by congratulating Raquel Pennington finally becoming world champion in the 135-pound division. Raquel had like 12 defeats, and this is what I like about MMA so much. You know what I'm saying? Especially the UFC. They give these fighters opportunity to get back in title contention to win a championship. And Raquel Pennington has lost against some of the best names, absolutely. But due to the lioness herself, Amanda Nunes, dipping into retirement to have children, well, her wife did, it allowed the bantamweight championship to be vacated. So they came up with two opponents. Raquel Pennington is a vet. You know what I'm saying? They put her in there with the tough Brazilian, and it was a good fight. Some moments was sleepy, but it was pretty good fight, man. Raquel did her best to stay off the mat, early, use her combinations when needed. Her opponent, tried to grapple. She tried to take it to the canvas, and she was so hyped up in the beginning of the fight that I think she had a adrenaline dump. I'm not gonna lie. I think she had like an adrenaline dump in the second round, and she was extremely tired. It wasn't the best way to go into a championship fight like that. Being as your first championship fight, I'm talking about, her opponent. Let me get the correct pronunciation of her opponents. Hold on for a second. Let me get the correct pronunciation. If you're in the building in the AM, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully everyone's Sunday goes well. WCS back with another one. And shout out to the hottest chat in MF and game. Those who support and listen, appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Hold on for a second. Oh, that's crazy. Man, when you ain't looking for something, when you're not looking for something, it's right there in front of you. When you're looking for it, that shit dip into the shadows. Play hide and go seek with you and shit. How this fight just ended, man. God damn. Silva. That's her name. Silva, with all the faces she was making and everything, she was super hyped up. Mayra Bueno Silva from Brazil. She was hyped up to get into that fight with Raquel Pennington. And she tried to enforce her, enforce her strength in the clinch. She tried to go for the takedowns, work for a submission. Raquel's takedown defense was okay early on, but it got better as the fight went along. Her submission defense was even better because she fought off, I say, at least about 5, 6 choke attempts. And not only did she fight them off, but she was able to reverse and, gain a dominant position and start landing some shots on Silva. Like I said, Silva was fatigued at the end of the third round, and pretty much, it wasn't too much going on the feet, except Silva trying to do some spinning technique, trying to catch Raquel Pennington sleeping. Wasn't too many kicks thrown. This was just a stand-up affair. It was weird because the co-main event and the main event was damn near just stand-up, for one fighter. And then the other one, they decided to throw a kick or not. But I say the fourth and fifth round for Silva and Pennington was a little sleepy because both fighters were fatigued. And though it seemed like they was, working for submissions or throwing punches here and there still was some laying and praying that was going on. Ultimately, I was happy to see Pennington win this championship. She absolutely did the most work when she was able to get the reversal on the submission defense. She did land some strikes from the top position. They weren't just any strikes. She was making sure that, her target was her opponent's face. She wasn't doing anything crazy like trying to transition to side control and all this other stuff. She just, when she got full mount, she made the most of it. It wasn't a lot of special moments in this fight, you can say. Just, fundamental technique, one strategy against the next, fighting through fatigue, just trying to stay active, so to speak. But Raquel Pennington got the job done, all I can say. Congrats to her. Sean Strickland loses his first title defense to Dricus du Plessis. This was a 5-round fight, which I can actually say they fought for 5 rounds. They said they was gonna go in there and try to kill each other. It didn't fall in line with that too much. It didn't give us the type of violence that we would expect from somebody who got so personal. Sean Strickland got extremely personal. And, they was coming in there to try to knock each other out, decapitate, the necks, and force their will. And Sean Strickland was straight up and down, 12-6 striker. And du Plessis actually tried to take advantage of it with some question mark kicks, some high kicks. He was pretty much concealing that real nice, and he kept his combinations active too. The first and second round, he was just outside range with his combos, and they was coming up a little short. But as Sean got tired, his reflexes slowed down a little bit, and he ended up starting to land them. So once he was able to get in close on Sean Strickland, he landed a nice elbow, cut him open. He continued to press him, and he was able to land those shots that was missing the first half of the fight. I was kind of rooting for Sean Strickland, but his jab in the first 2 rounds was accurate. You know what I'm saying? It was locate, close with, and destroy. It was pinpoint. But when he started to get tired from the pressure of du Plessis started to land, those punches that was missing. And plus, he was able to land more kicks because that high kick was vicious. It had some mustard on it, And fatigue always tells a different story, especially in the art of war. And Sean Strickland was fatigued. He was bloodied in the 4th round. Both of them started to trade. When it came to the takedowns, du Plessis, he actually tried to take Sean down in the later rounds, and he was able to stuff the takedowns much better than he did in the first half of the fight. But either way, every time he earned a takedown, it was very minimal damage done. very minimal damage done to when he got the takedowns. But just the energy just to work out of that takedown defense, get back base, make it back to your feet, and get your opponent off of you. It takes energy, and that's exactly what Duplessis, the South African striker, did. And he stayed consistent, man. Consistent earned him the title, even though it was a split decision win. He was consistent, man. I thought it should have been a unanimous decision in favor of Duplessis, but it was a close fight. It was, it was a close fight. Duplessis is an awkward fighter. He's very awkward. He stays committed to that left hand, and he's pretty telegraphic early in the fight. And like I said, fighters' reaction, it slows down a little bit with fatigue. And we're talking about 5-minute rounds, 5 rounds in the championship. Fighter got blood in their eye. They can't see every shot that's coming in. So he started to land that shot. And really, Sean Strickland didn't have an answer for it. He didn't have an answer because he's not really a kicker like that. The only time he really chose to start throwing kicks was in the final freaking minute of the fight, man. You can't do that. That's a championship fight. Real talk. So congrats to Duplessis, man. On to, everyone's favorite, goofball. Rolando Romero, man. It's a video out there where they were showing him mad love. I'm not gonna lie. Wherever he was at inside the arena, they were showing him mad love, right? And I didn't actually, want to know everything about this, but it's good that they show Rolly Romero freaking love like that. Seeing how he picked up his championship. I guess they give a pass for somebody like Romero. He has the personality. He has the goofiness. You know what I'm saying? He can. It's easy for people to go up here and be friends with him, obviously, because he had one of the worst 2 fights ever to become champion. You know what I'm saying? In Connecticut, his interim championship against Jackson Marinez was bogus. When he went in there against Ismael Barroso, Tony Weeks stopped the fight, Rob Barroso, and Rolly Romero came WBA champion. He's putting his approval on this now. Romero's up here stamping his approval. And, as a champion, if you got it, you might as well own it, right? He's stamping his approval on his championship like he don't have a care in the world, y'all. He doesn't have a care in the world. And I thought for sure, and yes, Ryan Garcia was trying to go the WBA route. But now, Rolly is acting like Ryan Garcia was the one who pulled out of the fight. I said, that's an easy freaking fight unless it came down to money. Unless Rolando Romero is trying to, get as max money as he possibly can facing Ryan Garcia because he believed he might lose, But he said he's done with Ryan as if Ryan pulled out of the fight. And lately, I'm not going to lie, it does seem like Ryan's been retreating a lot. He's been retreating, y'all. He's been all over the place, chaotic. He needs some type of chaperone. He needs some micromanagement right now. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I hope Ryan doesn't have a nervous breakdown because we thought he was fighting Devin Haney again, and he ducked him again. We thought that maybe he was gonna fight this fighter. After that, he said he wanted to leave the Devin Haney negotiation and fight Rolly Romero. Now Rolly Romero is out of the question. We don't know where Ryan Garcia at in his headspace mentally, because I for sure thought they would be able to make that fight at the WBA. Ryan beats Rolly, and then potentially unify with whoever's there to unify at 140 pounds. But that's out the question. If Rolly's out here saying that, F Ryan. He called him Princess Ryan. F him. And they put that freaking social media, that IG belt on him, the YouTube, and TikTok. They pretty much saying that he's a social media champion than anything. You know what I'm saying? They saying he's a social media champion than anything. Real talk. Shout out Dub right side on deck, man. What's good with it, Dub? How you feeling, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up, man. But with this said, we're gonna have to see what plays out with this particular situation with Ryan Garcia, because this what I believe is going on with him. Real talk. I believe Ryan Garcia is going around riding off the monetary clout that he earned with Tank Davis, and without the championship, he's absolutely trying to emulate what Tank Davis is doing. Okay, a lot of people say Tank didn't have a championship with the Reggie belt, when in reality, boxing absolutely certified that belt as being a world chip. They certified as being a world chip. What Ryan did is make money with Gervonta Davis, and he's trying to go around here and get these big names as if he's the damn A side and he's making all the calls with no championship belt. See, he may be able to get away with that if he had just one more pay-per-view to leverage those numbers against these fighters. But these fighters are looking at him like, especially Rolly. Rolly said, I've been in there with Tank too. Oh well. And then Ryan's like, well, you didn't make the money, or you didn't do the numbers that we did. See, that's why I believe Ryan Garcia's angle is at right now. His angle is to pretty much convince everybody that he was absolutely the reason, a contributor to him and Tank doing the numbers that they did. So being he came off his off the Duarte fight and he won, his mood is, I'm trying to get another title, and my leverage is what I did with Tank, the numbers I did with Tank. And it's just people out here ain't trying to buy that. You know, yeah, you did one fight with those numbers, but Tank was already on pay-per-view. You weren't. So yeah, even though you look good and you made millions with Tank, we're not buying your talking point and using that as leverage going into this next fight. Because I don't know exactly what he's trying to give the other fighter, or what, he's trying to limit with the other fighter. I don't know, man. I mean, just Ryan Garcia seems to be trying to find his way. And that deals with being a clout ranger. He's already the Duck Masters Coalition, but he's a clout ranger right now. He's trying to ride the clout off his fight with Tank to go into a bigger fight, not so much with a name, but a bigger fight than what he had with Duarte. And he's trying to say, this is what I did. You're going to make your biggest paycheck. Well, guess what? Rolando is up here saying the same thing. Whoever fight me is going to get their biggest paycheck. Whoever fight me is going to get their biggest paycheck. I truly believe Ryan Garcia is saying the exact same thing to whoever's trying to face. I bet he went over there trying to say that shit to Devin Haney, and they wasn't trying to hear it. They say, we don't give a damn what you did with Tank. This is what we doing right here. And they was probably talking some 50-50 shit. Ryan may go in there believing that it's not 50-50, that he's heavier. You know what I'm saying? He's the heavier side. I wouldn't call him the A side, but he may feel that he should get the higher percentage going into this fight. And then look at it this way. If you can't negotiate with Rolly now, something's seriously wrong. Seriously, if you can't negotiate with Rolando, something's wrong with you. It's a lighter part to this that makes me happy too. Because I've heard people mention Ryan Garcia's social media, how over 10 million views, how he does this and that for boxing. Well, how does it look right now with this man out here just walking around like he's infected? You know what I'm saying? Like he's absolutely delusional. How does it look now with 10 million plus followers on IG and you really can't lock in a fight? How does that look? Is social media really that powerful in this boxing game like that? Just to say, well, he ain't won a championship. He not to this point, but still he can go in there and possibly try to negotiate 30 or 40 million dollars. That shit ain't happening, bro. Now, if he would have did that shit with Haney probably, and I don't know if they could have did it over here or Riyadh, but it could have been some money like that. But I don't think, I don't think the Sheik is trying to get Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get the top dog and Gervonta Davis to go over there with a fight with Devin Haney or something. But for Ryan Garcia, he's just over here. I don't want to say he's being entitled, but I try to tell people about him. When I was calling him Ryan Garcia, I try to explain to people that this guy's entitled. This man goes off his looks. You know what I'm saying? He's in the modeling. He has other sponsorships outside of boxing. He feels he can make the money. But boxing is a place where you can make that lump sum like he did with Tank and live very, very good with the sponsorship that you got. But somebody need to sit him down. Like, his relationship with Oscar is just the way he looks out here in the street. He has a very distorted, unbalanced relationship with Oscar De La Hoya. And also he has an unbalanced way of walking out here in these streets when he's pulling out these fights, and these fights are looking like F him. I told you all in a live several months ago how it seems like Ryan Garcia is pretty much trying to gain respect. This dude's trying to earn respect, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. International, Toby Bartley, and them deck. What they do, Toby? What they do? Dove said Ryan wants to prove it, but need another dance partner. I mean, who can be a worthy dance partner to basically bring those numbers up that he's looking for? He want those numbers to somewhat reciprocate like him and Tank Davis. Who can he fight right now? You know what I'm saying? It's two fighters that could have did that. Teofimo Lopez is tied up with Jermaine Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? So Devin Haney's out the question now, unless they revisit, and Rolando Romero is out the question. Who else is he going to be able to fight? Subriel Matias? I don't think he want that smoke right now. I would be surprised if Ryan fought Subriel Matias. Absolutely surprised. But if he goes in there and beats him, then that's the respect he was looking for. He's confused, man. I don't know. He's extremely confused with the way he's moving. I don't want to say he's moving funny because so many people try to, say that shit about Crawford. But he's moving funny, dog. Goddamn, Ryan Garcia is moving funny, bro. This dude is just moving super funny, man. I can't call it, man. I can't call it. For real. What's going on 16 South on deck? Rolly really know what's going on. What he knows, though. What does Rolly know? That he was gifted a championship belt again? What does he know? Explain. I mean, on a Sunday morning, please, before we go into church and ask for forgiveness for these lies, what do he know? Does he know that his fan base rock with him for some strange reason? You know what I'm saying? Some weird reason? And, look, I may talk a little bit of shit about Rolly, but I always tell people how he did a good deed for me, and I didn't ask him to, and he's a boxer too. So I got some respect for Rolly, man, but he is goofy. You know what I'm saying? But I think he is a genuinely nice person, seriously, if he gets to know you. But he did something genuinely nice for me, man. I got respect for Rolly, but that doesn't eliminate him from being a goofball. And also, that doesn't eliminate him from Tony Weeks blessing him with a premature, corrupt stoppage, period. And for him to embrace that championship the way he's done, he don't have a care in the world. He stamped the shit out that championship. You know what I'm saying? He probably was back there looking around. Tony, come here, Tony. Thank you. Muchas gracias. You know, Tony know how to speak that Espanol too. Dion, what's good with it, brother? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dion, man, out there putting in work, man. Got much respect for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You may not know it, but, you know, I appreciate and respect what you do in your community up there. You know, the journey that you on, you know, dropping the weight and everything. You know, man, you're a solid brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Out there coaching and stuff like that. Shout out to Dion, man. Known him for a good minute now. Fighters these days are forgetting their fighters first, so they should be fighting. The clue is in the question. I'm just saying, like, Toby, what are your thoughts on who he should fight? Who's left to basically bring him the revenue that he believes he's worth? Because them 10 million plus followers aren't doing it. None of the boxers cares about that except Tank. Tank, when first asked who did he want to fight, he said Ryan Garcia. He said because he bring a country behind him and stuff like that. So it worked out good for Tank. Yes, indeed. It worked out good. But it just seems like the ones who wasn't there first, they don't give a fuck. You know, Devin don't give a damn about no 10 million followers. Rolly don't give a damn about no 10 million plus followers. They just want the money. You know? I agree with Ryan, Oscar versus Ryan. Oh, man. I don't know what you mean by that. He see all the sky and approaches people trying to implement. I don't get what you're saying. You got to be a bit more. You're gonna have to do some clarification with that. I don't understand. I know understand for real. You know what I'm saying? Him being coherent, it doesn't have anything to do with goofy. You can be goofy and be coherent. You know what I'm saying? You can be extremely goofy and be coherent. Obviously, you know, it's a lot of people out there that really fuck with Rolly and show him mad love. Singing, I guess it was his birthday. You know, it's good to see that, man, because I know in the U.S. you don't get that. We don't really have a theme song to bless people or get together. You know, we really don't have a theme song like other countries do. But they were singing to Rolly. I guess it was his birthday or whatever. And they were showing him mad love, man. I ain't mad at that. My whole focus is this freaking, you know, Ryan Garcia not being able to lock in a fight with Rolly. You sent out a text and said, I'm no longer, you know, pursuing Devin Haney. I'm rolling, you know, try to fight Rolando Romero. And I hope my team, you know, backs me on this or whatever he said. Well, something didn't work out. That, you know, they weren't backing him on that. They probably really, you know, when it comes to Oscar, he feels that Devin Haney fight is much more lucrative than him and Rolly. So, yeah, he wanted that fight. But something's going on with Ryan, man. For real, something's going on with him, man. 1 minute he's talking Jesus Christ, and the other minute he's out here swerving all over the street like it's black ice. What's going on with you, man? You can't stay in one lane and make it from point A to B. Just goddamn talk to your people. Have a sit down. Have a pause. You know what I'm saying? Just have a pause, bro. Take a break. Take a break. Sit down with the people. It seems like you're not even wanting to go over there. I don't know if it's some shit we don't know about, but you act like you can't go over there and sit down with Oscar. You know, you got a legendary freaking promoter, and you can't get Devin Haney. You can't get Rolly Romero. You know, I mean, who's next for you? That's my biggest question, man. Why can't you just take a time out, sit down, and try to figure this shit out? That's all. Okay, Sly or Snake. Okay. Puerto Rico versus Mexican rival the only way. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, Dion, I look at it like they can definitely revisit this fight. Come on, man. You can revisit this fight. Absolutely. He sees all the snakes in the grass. Tries to be trying to implement around him. Now, you know, that's cool. That's cool if he sees that. Now, one thing I can say about Rolly, you know, when I say that and then he does some other shit, and it make me kind of recant what I was saying. You know, he's not stupid. To call somebody stupid is just saying they're dumb. Like, he's goofy. But Rolly does say some things that will make you say, okay, all right, I'm feeling that. But in this boxing game right here, Rolly is on a short timepiece right now. You know what I'm saying? That timepiece Rolly on doesn't have the regular minutes of one that we use on a daily basis. He's on a short timepiece right now. He better damn well get somebody in there that they not the name Ismael Barroso, because Rolando Romero is going around telling people that Barroso hits harder than Tank. So we know Barroso just won the interim title, right? He definitely don't need to see that dude right now again. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that, because he may not make it out of the damn third or fourth round. Because Barroso, you done pissed him the fuck off. You know, older people get pissed off quicker. You pissed him off so much, he had to turn back around and get another title shot. He ended up stopping his opponent, and he wants you next. Real talk, he wants you, big dog. Clarity. Okay, I got you. Appreciate that, though. Appreciate that clarity. Yeah. Yeah, I was asking you for clarity, man. I didn't quite get what you were saying. He is not as clueless as you look or sounds or what all I'm saying. Okay, it's clarity. Thanks for the clarity. Hey, shout out to Drico on deck, man. What they do, man? How you feeling, brother? Just sliding through, enjoy the content. Appreciate you, man. Been a minute. Just making the fights and revenue come after these days. Fights want instant riches. I don't know, you know, Ryan Garcia has made a big bank with Tank, so I don't think he want instant riches. I believe he want to repeat the payout that he received fighting Tank. He was able to do it with no title. Even though he took an L, he you know, he has one loss, man. So he don't want to waste too many fights not earning a payday like that again. But he needs a name. If he don't want to fight Isaac Cruz, you know what I'm saying? Like, is Isaac Cruz going to be next? Or are we going to get Isaac Cruz to fight Rolando Romero? Yeah, hold on for a second. Okay, I'm back. Man, just make the fight and the revenue comes after. These days, fighters want instant riches. Like I was saying about that, he needs to make the fight with somebody that has half a name. You know what I'm saying? Isaac Cruz, even. If Isaac Cruz makes the fight with Ryan Garcia, I think that fight do pretty decent. And I'm looking at Isaac Cruz at one point in time. It just seems like he was everywhere trying to kiss Gervonta Davis' ass to get back in the ring. That might have fell out, being with Showtime dissolved. So from what I'm hearing, that Isaac Cruz may be the next one in line for, Ryan Garcia. That's stylistically, and speaking about their advantages and disadvantages, you're talking about a short fighter that's shorter than Tank and Cruz, and then Ryan Garcia. Oh, it makes for the perfect fight, because one thing we know about Cruz, he has a gas tank. You know what I'm saying? So Ryan Cruz would do pretty decent. I don't know what the purse is gonna look like, but it'd be a pretty decent eye catcher. You know what I'm saying? People's interest may be a little bit involved in that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna shut that down. Isaac Cruz is a dog, man. I was there during the COVID in the arena when he fought freaking Diego Magdalena. A fighter that I like, man. And he stood him up with body shots. Ooh, it was nasty. Ooh, shit. And he destroyed him. But after the Tank fight, man, I wasn't impressed with him doing that to Gamboa. And I wasn't really impressed with his Giovanni fight. It was sloppy. He looked like he couldn't make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Being a shorter fighter, you just can't load up all the time and try to land a shot. You're not a power puncher like that. You do have some power, but you're not that power puncher, the one quitter hitter type. So you have to work up to that point, to fold your opponent. With Ryan Garcia, I do have him better than I did before in his career, coming out pretty decent against Isaac Cruz. The reason why I say that is Ryan got up from a Gervonta left hand. You know what I'm saying? He got up. I don't consider Isaac Cruz a heavier hitter than Gervonta Davis. Plus the reach that Ryan has. We're talking about taking moments from the Duarte fight. He wasn't as flat-footed. He was moving around, using his jab, popping his jab, being active with the stick. Combinations every now and then. And then we have to address whatever that was he was doing, the Shozy Ozy Posey, a.k.a. the Philly Shell or whatever. He was doing a full back attack. You know what I'm saying? Turning his full back to his opponent. He got to have to work on that. I mean, he had to work on that. At least he was attempting some shit new. I knew he had been working with Floyd. Ryan was a flat-footed fighter. Now, hear me out on this shit, because it's gonna make sense to you. This was the fight that he was over with Diddy James, right? And when he started the fight, I said, hell no, that can't be Diddy James teaching him that. That's why Bomac said no more hiding, because it's no way that Diddy James taught him something different like that, and he went out there and actually applied it. Like, he was moving around. He wasn't standing flat-footed just trying to use that lead left. You know what I'm saying? That lead left hook. He just wasn't fine. He was moving around, popping the jab, being patient. And then doing the Shozy Ozy Posey. And then, he kept on popping the stick. And then he started to put his combinations together. All right? He started to put his combinations. They was extremely effective. And I thought he did great work. And I said to myself, when I started seeing this, and I remember the pictures that he took in TMT, I said, that looked like Floyd was working with him, man. And the biggest red flag to me that it wasn't truly Diddy is the fact that he had Errol Spence in his camp forever and a day. That is a flat-footed fighter. And Errol never came out moving around like Ryan Garcia did. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia was actually using his mobility to utilize as much space as he could in that ring and work at distance and pop the jab. Usually he's loading up the left hook, but he was pretty calm on this shit, patient. I got to give him his props on that, man. I don't think Jesse was better than his brother Diego. Diego absolutely have better resume than his brother Jesse. Both of them dudes can fight. But you have to understand, Diego been in there with some big names though, for real. I actually was on site in Nashville, Tennessee, when Team Austin Dulé denied me an interview because I told Diego he was gonna be too much for Austin. I was absolutely correct, man. I say, man, it's good to see you and him fighting. Good fight, you and Austin Dulé. But I think you're gonna be too much, and they felt some type of way about it. But I was correct. He did. He went in there and put them hands on Austin, bro, because Diego was that dog. But anyway, this it was what it was, man. You know what I'm saying? It was what it was. If he would have beat Dog Bay, he would have been in the running. He would have been solid a little bit going up that escalator. He could have been solid a little bit. Took that elevator up a little bit, couple of floors. But you know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys are, I don't want to call Dog B a journeyman. He's not a journeyman. But I can call him an important opponent. Like he doesn't have the Jorge Linares effect going on yet. He doesn't have that. But yeah, let's see what happened with Ryan Garcia. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. I hope he get it together. If him and Isaac Cruz is next, I hope they able to make that fight, and may the best man win. I like Isaac Cruz, man. He's a tough mofo, man. That dude's tough, man. He remind me of a deck collector. Some people collect decks. They come in there with a baseball bat. He look like he can be in the movie where he just come in there and just start tearing people up, just like Equalizer. Start putting them paws on them. I mean, he seems like a no-nonsense, freaking dangerous individual. You know what I'm saying? No nonsense, straight to the point, killer. That's what Isaac Cruz reminds me. Ryan Garcia reminds me of a guy who can box. Box pretty decent, but more so worried about his hair and the parties that he's going to go to. I don't know. Maybe he went to one of those parties in Hollywood, y'all. And that's all over about, what Cat Williams say. Maybe in order for him to break into the silver screen, he messed around and went to one of the parties. I don't know. It's hard for me to come up with a prognosis on Ryan Garcia on the way he's acting, because he was up there saying, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. And from a person who has faith in Jesus Christ myself, all I would say, Ryan, is just pray, man. Have a prayer, dog. Don't give up. Just have a prayer, man, because faith is everything. Real talk. Faith is everything, Ryan. You got to have faith. You just can't say it when you're in front of people. You got to pray to him in a time of need, when you're going through challenges and controversy. Don't they say, isn't they what they said, that's the testament of a man for what he goes through in challenge and controversy, not comfort and convenience? I mean, you better seek him out, Virgil Ortiz, if that's who you're talking about, I'm not even gonna speak on it because I don't know which Virgil you're talking about. But Navarrete been on ever since he beat Dog Bay. Yeah, man. I was telling people that they should have never. Let me take this down because I'm off them. They should have never sent Dog Bay back in there for a rematch that early. They should have kept him out, worked on some things, and brought him back against another opponent. But when you got pride from a country, they wanted to send Dog Bay back in there against Navarrete, who had Dog Bay's number, man. He was just too much for Dog Bay. His cardio, his range. You want to talk about Gumby? Emmanuel Navarrete is Gumby in this boxing game. Real talk. Dude has long arms. He's awkward, and he be doing some funky fly shit off the ropes, man. And here go Dog Bay, short, compact like Isak Cruz. That Enoch, it wasn't enough for Manuel Navarrete. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't enough to derail what was in front of him. So that shit was tough, man. But his team made a poor decision. You know what I'm saying? That was a very poor decision. But shout out to everybody who pulled up. You know, if you didn't know, Jonas, she won a decision over Michaela Mayer. I know Mayer is sick right now because after losing to Alicia Baumgartner, man, she had 2 wins, and she moved up for the first time to 147, and she lost again in another big fight. I know she's sick right now. I know she's trying to figure it out. When I tried to ask her in New York, you know, she wasn't trying to talk to nobody because she knew they was going to ask her about that fight. I'm like, what do you expect them to talk about? Your hair? No, we want to know little tidbits and you know, about the Alicia Baumgartner fight that you had. You know, that's what. But she was avoiding everybody, you know, just acting all sedity and shit, man. You know, she's never going to be popular, especially in women's boxing. You got to find your niche on how to be popular and build yourself, just like the males do. Running away from media and not wanting to be asked the hard questions, that's not going to get you where you want. And she takes this 147-pound loss, you know, to Jonas, and no one knows her mind. You know what I'm saying? Her mind state. Like she might be second guessing. She has a legend, you know, that's training her. I don't know what to say, you know. She's gonna have to take some time off and figure it out. Knowing them, she might be right back in trying to get a rematch with Jonas. But shout out to Jonas. Congratulations to you. You know, good fight. I wanted to say shout out to Neil Magny too. He ended up getting a win. I don't know how many losses he got, but he got double-digit losses. But still, we're talking about mixed martial arts, and he ended up going in there having a spectacular win today. Don't forget, the time is ticking, and the heavyweight undisputed is going down in the sandbox. You know, Riyadh. Who would have thought that as long as it has taken us to come back to a heavyweight championship, this is going to be a championship absent of an American heavyweight competing for those belts. It's going to be Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. You know, people are going to watch it, but it would have been nice to like have a U.S. heavyweight champion competing too. But I'm going... You know, I think Fury gets it done. I do. I think Fury gets it done. But yeah, that's coming up in February. You know, and lastly, we really don't know. No one has sent me anything in the DM about if the first fight for PBC is going to be March 30th or not, and who Tank is going to be fighting. That's the biggest question mark of it all. You know, so expect in the next several weeks, you know, different things to come out about who Tank may be potentially fighting, okay? You know what I'm saying? The Logan Machida interview on that podcast is a must-see. All right, I'll check that out, man. Appreciate it. I would check that out. You know, did you check out the one with John Jones' brother? You know, what he said about them facing Rampage, on how, you know, Jones, you know, was nervous about that fight, you know, didn't get any sleep because they looked up the Rampage, and Rampage was the man, real talk. You know, his freaking slam runner, that's legendary. That changed levels for Rampage. When he was caught damn near in a triangle, and he picked him up and slammed him and knocked him out cold, that changed his life over in Japan. And I had the opportunity to see how they treat Rampage back then in Japan. They treat him like a god, man. They love Rampage over there. Real talk. You know, they loved him. Beyond loved him. Yeah. Shout out to Boxing Conversation. Reggie Owens on deck, man. What's good with it? But that's all I got, man. I gotta go out here into the wilderness, man. I gotta visit the wilderness right now. It's 2:30 in the morning, man. I'm going to visit the wilderness and then take a little flight up top. You know what I'm saying? Go see what the clouds like up there. See can I find a stork or a carrier pigeon that's trying to sneak this damn intel in here about the PBC freaking fight schedule. I know it's all you gotta do is keep catch them slipping. Get some night vision goggles, man. You good, dog. You know what I'm saying? You good. We gonna get this figured out. We are gonna get this figured out. But hey, y'all hold it down. I'm out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
one-on-one. Just say to them, ask them, do you buy the pay-per-view, or are you illegally getting it? Are you stealing it? Oh man, motherfucker, I steal it. I said, well, there you go. But you're supporting your fighter?